This is 4 minutes for Black Widow. Ready? Okay, this is 4 minutes for a bunch of kind of recent Disney stuff that I just got around to watching on Disney+. Ready? Toy Story 4. This is the most reaching edition of this video, as Toy Story 4 came out in mid-2019. I'd call this a highly anticipated sequel to an amazing trilogy that's warmed the hearts of millions, but I mean, it's not. No one asked for this, no one needed this, and most importantly, this movie has no purpose for its existence. Much like Toy Story 4 and the fact that it probably should not be, my least favorite part of the movie was the character Forky. It raises so many questions about the rules of sentience in this world. There's so much emphasis on the word trash, which I think is because it's like a popular internet phrase. And primarily, I thought it was super uncomfortable how much they were focusing on Forky wanting to go in the trash, and the bizarrely anti-suicide messaging of the montage song. You know, not that I'm against that kind of thing, but like, what am I watching here? It's so uncomfortable and takes up like half the movie, and the other half is a hodgepodge of character missions that reconvene meaninglessly in the end. There's far too many toys at this point, and there's just nothing for anyone to do unless they're plot relevant. There's a lack of a real antagonist since they pull the whole "they were nice all along" thing, so it really starts to fall apart when there's just a bunch of characters chasing around an anticlimactic, bold-faced attempt at a tear-jerking end. But yeah, just like other recent Disney Pixar sequels, it's a blatant cash grab with no purpose. 4.5 out of 10. Wait, shouldn't it be called Sporky? Frozen 2. Coming out in late 2019, Frozen 2 actually was a highly anticipated sequel to one of Disney's biggest movies in years, and the only true pure Disney movie on this list. However, I have never been on the Frozen hype train. For me, Frozen is actually one of the most overhyped Disney things, which is saying a lot because most of Disney is overhyped anyway. I thought it was fine and had a couple good songs, but it was overly poppy, the conflicts were generic, and it just didn't feel as impactful to me as some of the older 2D princess movies, or even more recent stuff like Tangled. There's a few ways that Frozen 2 is better. The music, while overall less memorable, is way less try-hard and aiming to be earwormy and accessible. It's a little more natural and more like a musical, which is something that Disney has been sorely lacking recently. There's also decent moments of self-awareness needed with such a big franchise, with fun gags like Kristoff's boy band song. Besides that though, in trying to write this review, I could barely recall even the most basic plot points or why I should continue caring about these characters. The conceit of the story with finding the parents and the betraying of the native people was so predictable and tired, as was the generic falling out that happens in every single Disney movie. I literally have nothing else to say. There's no antagonist, no conflict. Olaf is way worse in this one. It's just very mediocre. The worst of the three I'm talking about in this video. 4.5 out of 10. Onward. On the whole, I do feel like Pixar has underperformed recently, as you may have gathered from my Toy Story 4 review. While I don't think this movie is anything too special, it's definitely the best that I'm talking about in this video. It looks very nice, the setting is interesting, but I wish they had gone a little harder with it. It's literally just normal life with some lazy D&D races, the usual Disney Pixar vibe with some blue skin and wings. The characters are cute, I like Tom Holland's performance as always, and the mom getting her own moment is really cool, but she's overall shafted by the mountainous importance given to the dad. Tom Holland's Ian goes through this whole revelation of realizing that his big brother was the father figure he wanted all along, while his mom is literally right over there battling a dragon for him. The highlights of the movie for me were the action set pieces. They were surprisingly fun and engaging. The weaker parts of the movie were when it defaulted to generic Disney storytelling. Of course, the characters have a minor falling out. Still, I like Ian's arc in letting his brother see their father, and little moments like the van sacrifice were very enjoyable to me. It's nothing like Pixar's old Titans, but it's cute and sweet and overall enjoyable, if forgettable, much better than Toy Story 4's pointlessness and Frozen 2's passionlessness. Onward gets a 6 out of 10. And done.